Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Learn English with the Bible. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Close your eyes and imagine you are a soldier in a battle. You have been fighting all day. Your arms are tired. Your sword feels heavy. But finally, your enemy is running away. You are winning. But then you look up at the sky. The day is ending. The sun is going down over the hills. Soon it will be dark. You will have to stop. Your enemy will escape into the night, and you will lose your chance for a complete victory. Imagine that feeling. You are so close, but you are running out of time. You need just one more hour of daylight. But then, something impossible happens. The sun, which was going down, stops moving. It just stops. The sky stays bright. The moon also stops moving. Time, it seems, has stopped. The battle continues. You get your victory. This is not a science fiction movie. This is a story from the Bible. Today we are talking about Joshua and the long day, a day when the sun stood still. Before we travel back in time to this more amazing battle, I want to ask you for a small favor. If you enjoy learning English with stories like this, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. It helps this channel grow, and it helps me create more stories for your English journey. Thank you. Our story begins with a man named Joshua. He was the leader of the Israelites, God's chosen people. They had finally arrived in the Promised Land, a beautiful country flowing with milk and honey. But there was a problem. Other people were already living there. So Joshua led the people in a series of battles to take the land, and they were very successful. Maybe you have heard of their most famous victory, the Battle of Jericho. You remember that one? They marched around the city, shouted, and the walls fell down flat. A great victory. After Jericho, they won another small battle against a city called Ai. Now, all the other kings in the land were very, very afraid. One day, a group of 5 Amorite kings decided to do something. They came together to form an army, a coalition. That's a group of kings who joined together for a common purpose. These 5 kings gathered all their soldiers and went to attack a city called Gibeon. Now, why Gibeon? Because the people of Gibeon had made a peace agreement with Israel. They were friends, so the people of Gibeon were in big trouble. They were surrounded by a huge enemy army. They sent an urgent message to Joshua at his camp. It was a cry for help. The message said, "Come quickly and save us. Help us. Do not abandon us because we are your friends. All the kings of the Amorites are fighting against us." Think about that for a moment. Joshua and his army were tired. They had already fought many battles, but their friends were in danger. What would you do? Would you go and help? Joshua did not hesitate. He was a good leader and a good friend. He gathered all his soldiers. But here's the thing. The enemy army was already at Gibeon. They had a head start. To get there in time, Joshua had to do something very difficult. The Bible says he marched his entire army through the night. They went up the mountain in the dark. Can you imagine? The soldiers were probably exhausted. They couldn't see the path clearly. They were carrying their swords and their shields, but they kept walking. They knew their friends needed them. They marched all night. And at dawn, as the sun was coming up, they arrived at Gibeon. They surprised the Amorite army. The enemy did not expect an attack so early. Joshua's men attacked with all their strength. The battle was fierce and chaotic. Swords were fighting. Men were shouting. But the Lord also helped Israel in a very special way. As the Amorite army tried to run away, God sent large hailstones from the sky. These were not little pieces of ice. These were huge hailstones, balls of ice that fall from the sky like heavy rocks. The Bible says that more enemy soldiers died from the hailstones than from the swords of the Israelites. But the battle was not over yet. The enemy was still running. Joshua's army was chasing them. They were winning. But as they ran, Joshua looked up at the sky. He saw the sun beginning to move toward the west. The day was passing. Soon it would be dark. They needed more time to finish the victory. They couldn't let the enemy escape into the darkness. In this moment, Joshua did something amazing. He did not just pray quietly in his tent. He stood in front of all the people. The battle was still going on around him, and he spoke to the sun and the moon. He prayed a bold, impossible prayer. He said, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon. Moon, stop over the valley of Ajalon." He was asking for more daylight. He was asking for time to stop. And the Bible says, the sun stopped. The moon stopped. The sky did not get dark. The day continued like a long, endless afternoon until Israel won the battle completely. Can you imagine looking up and seeing the sun frozen in the sky? What would you have thought? Would you believe your eyes? Joshua's soldiers kept fighting in a light that should have been gone. The Bible tells us that there has never been a day like it, before or since. It was a day when the Lord listened to the voice of one man, a man who believed that nothing was impossible. Israel won a great and complete victory that day. Joshua became famous throughout the whole land. People told stories about the day the sun stood still for him. This is more than just an old story. It is a story about bold prayers. Joshua was not afraid to ask God for a big miracle. It is a story about complete faith. He believed that with God's help, even time itself could stop. And it is a story about miraculous help in the middle of a human struggle. So, what can we learn from Joshua and this long day? I think the story teaches us to be bold. Sometimes in life we face situations that seem impossible. We are running out of time. We feel like the enemy is winning. It's easy to give up. But Joshua teaches us to have courage. He teaches us to ask for help, even when the problem seems too big. He teaches us that we should not stop fighting for what is right, even when we are tired. He trusted that he would get the help he needed at exactly the right moment. The story reminds us that sometimes a miracle is just a bold prayer away. And now, let's connect this story to you, to your English learning journey. Sometimes, learning a new language feels like a long, hard battle. You are fighting with new words. You are fighting with difficult grammar rules. You listen and you don't understand. You try to speak and you can't find the right words. The day feels too short. You feel like you are running out of time. Your motivation begins to go down like the sun in the sky. But like Joshua, you can ask for more time. You can decide to study a little longer. You can push through the exhaustion. When you feel like giving up, when the sun is setting on your motivation, remember Joshua. Take a deep breath. Keep going. Read one more page. Listen to one more video. Say one more sentence out loud. The victory of speaking English well is closer than you think. Just keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Learn English with the Bible. I hope you enjoyed the story of Joshua and the long day. If this story helped you learn something new, please click the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so we can continue this journey together. I have a question for you to answer in the comments below. When do you feel like you need more time in your day to learn or to do everything you need to do? Tell me about your busy days. I read your comments and I love hearing from you. Keep learning, keep believing in miracles, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now, my friends.